Hey guys, today we're making a miniature violin. First you want to make a sketch like this in the right size and cut out the main piece. I then took a tiny bit of mold putty and flattened it, leaving sort of a bump in the center, which you're going to use for giving the violin a slight curve. You can also make this from Polymer clay, just bake it and dust on some cornstarch so the clay won't stick. Roll out a thin sheet of scrap clay and cut out a front and a back piece. Place them on the mold putty to shape them and pre-bake. And before pre-baking the piece for the front, I used a needle tool to cut the two swirls. After pre-baking, I used a file to get rid of any bumps left behind by the needle tool. Roll out a thicker sheet of clay, trace the shape onto the clay using a dotting tool, and cut out a rough shape like this. Place the front piece on top and cut it out. Then add the back piece. Cut a strip from a thin sheet of clay and wrap this around the edge, then pre-bake. Next, roll out another thin sheet of clay and cut out what's going to be the back side for the top piece. Round off the sides and bend the wider end where the rest of the violin is going to be attached. Take another sheet and flatten it with your blade to slant it. Cut and roll to create the piece for the top or tip of the violin. I pre-baked it before adding it to the other piece, but you don't necessarily have to. And after pre-baking again, I added more clay to create a more smooth looking transition. Attach it to the base of the violin and pre-bake if you want, but this is optional. Add a couple of strips of clay to the front of the tip and cut out another piece. Pre-bake and add it to the front using liquid clay. Now cut out the last two pieces, which are the metal piece in the center and the bottom piece that has the strings attached. Then pre-bake. Add them to the violin and bake it one last time. Now make the piece where you'd rest your chin, as well as the 4 pegs you use to tune the violin. Then bake these as well. To attach the pegs, I used my electric file to drill 4 holes and glued them in place. I also glued on the chin resting piece, but not until after I painted it. And to paint it, I used alcohol ink in gold and acrylic paint. For the strings, I just used some cheap synthetic hair extensions that I got off eBay and glued these in place with white craft glue. I also painted them with silver colored alcohol ink to make them stand out. And to make a simple bow, I just bent a piece of wire, painted it with acrylic paint and glued on a piece of fishing line. Seal it with glaze, and you're done.